Alright guys, so we're into our Theros release draft, our Born of the Gods release draft here, already underway with Garrett Meadows. He'll be our featured drafter today. You'll have to forgive me as I fight desperately to figure out all the cards we've got here, as it is a new set to me as well. Archetype of Embrace, which is the Trample archetype. There's a Ragemonger if Garrett wants to go really deep into Minotaurs, and then his rare is the Cornucopia, which is basically unplayable. And I apologize a little bit sorting the cards off camera, but it is somewhat difficult for these guys to figure out. Is that a Crippling Blight? No, it's not. Alright, I can't see what whichever one you take, show it to Garrett. Alright, Drown in Sorrow. So he took the Infest, which is obviously a great card. So we got Necrobite, Kragma Butcher, just some vanilla cards. There's the 5/5 Tribute guy. Basic Island. We are drafting Born Theros, so the actual format here. There's Loyal Pegasus, which can be good in the right deck. Elite Skirmisher. Archetype of Courage is pretty darn good. See if he goes there. And then God-Favored General, Token Producer with Inspired. It'll be interesting to see which one he takes out of this pack. So he's already got the Infest. There is the Lightning Bolt with Scry. Fist of something. That's probably the pick, I would think, at this point. Bolt of Keranos, I should say. Removal, obviously, highly... You've shuffled the Archetype up there as well. The Archetype is really good. He doesn't choose the Archetype of Courage, which is going to give him some strength in combat there, as it gives everything first strike. Plowing through the rest of the cards here, we see basically the same pack as last time, with the same commons. The Devotion, Hurricane, and there's Bile Blight. Bile Blight is an obvious choice at this point. So Garrett drafted a pretty good deck so far. Good white creatures and good black removal. So there's Nullify. Pretty tough given what he's already drafted, but probably main deckable in this format. Noble Quarry, not very good. Archetype's Reward, basically another combat trick. Epiphany Storm. The Servant. And the Satyr Wayfinder. So nothing really exciting here. Some decent blue cards, but not really where we want to be. Looks like he's shuffling that white creature to the front. Another Servant. I apologize for the moving quickly here. Thunderous Might, another Epiphany Storm. It's so hard, they move so fast. I've not mastered how to do this. So the Devotion, the guy that's cheaper to cast, he's just a vanilla creature, but he's cheaper to cast based on your devotion to black. So there's a Nyxborn Eidolon. So it looks like he might be cut here. That Gorgon's mask, or Gorgon's head, probably the way to go, honestly. Death Touch pretty important here, but he chooses the Nyxborn Eidolon, the 2/1 vanilla for 2 that does have Bestow. Synchromancy, I wonder what that does. Satyr Nyxsmith is pretty good, not in the colors that Garrett's drafting so far. So between the... I don't think he realizes that when he bounces the card, it's impossible for me to see it. Sanguimancy. You draw X cards and lose X life. Based on your devotion to black, probably not playable, but at least something. So it looks like he's getting cut off white here. Given the fact that Aaron Daly is on his right, that's not really surprising here. So I think at this point, Garrett might want to start realizing he could get into red at this point, or these green cards. We got the War Chanter of Malgus flipped up to the front, which for inspired target creature you control gets Intimidate. But he's decided to switch into green here. An interesting choice. Taking the Peregrination, which is basically a ramp spell with Scry on it. So burning through the dregs here. There's the white cards, not the playable white cards. There's a Necro Bite. Ends up taking the Fellhide Brawler. Fellhide Brawler can't block unless you control another Minotaur. So not that good, but at the 11th pick in the pack. So there's another Devotion Titan. The Culling Mark. One of the 3 copies of Epiphany Storm. It looks like they were making the rounds. There's a Pinnacle of Rage. So red was way open in this draft. Nobody seemingly wanted to pull that trigger. So we move into Theros as Garrett looks over his playables here. A lot of black cards. He drafted some good white cards early, but then got cut off pretty hard. He moved into some green cards, at least some playable cards, towards the end there, but not sure exactly where he's going to end up. He's base black, going to be difficult not to play the Drown in Sorrow and Crippling Blight. So there's a Divine Verdict. A Sip of Hemlock is probably a good pick here. Double-headed Cerberus. There's an Emissary. There's a Sylvan Caryatid. You might want to take that. He's kind of into green already. Caryatid pretty good at this point. Either that or the Sip of Hemlock, I would think. Or is it a Phalanx? It's a Wingsteed Rider. See, he can hook Aaron here if he wants to, because I'm pretty sure Aaron was taking white cards to his right, so he can cut him off completely. And that's what he chooses to do. So the Theros Limited Stalwart Wingsteed Rider is the pick here. There's a Traveler's Amulet. Phalanx of Pharika's Cure, which is probably going to be the pick here. And then, again, forgetting he's on camera. There we go. Wait, Keepsake Gorgon? That can't be right. Why did we not take Pharika's Cure? So there's a Guardians of Miletus, if we want to go super deep there. Phalanx Leader, not bad at all. If we're going to take the Wingsteed Rider, we'll probably take the Phalanx Leader as well. I'm going to take the Honored Hoplite. I think you just take the Phalanx Leader, don't you? Yep. Took him a while to get there, but Garrett agreeing. The card is very strong. God's Willing also pretty good at this point. You can play the Opaline Steed as well, but Combat Treks at a premium in any limited format. There's a foil Battlewise Hoplite, I believe. So there's another Wingsteed card and another Phalanx leader, so he's going to have to choose which one there. The Mana Fixer as well. Another copy of Guardians. So which of these two bombs is he going to take here? Couldn't see which one. It looked like the Phalanx leader there. Couldn't figure it out. So there's a Lifelink Eidolon, which is a pretty clear pick at this point. That card's deceptively good, easy to bestow, and then in your deck with all the Wingsteed Riders and Phalanx leaders, really pushes the synergy. So there's the another sip of Hemlock on the way back. Mostly garbage from there, so I think the sip would be the take. It is a 6-cost removal spell, but this format is relatively slow. Removal at a premium. There we go. He was trolling us a little bit with that Pyxis of Pandemonium or whatever it was. There's an Asp. I guess we're just going to take, we can take either of the last two cards. So we take a Nessian Asp here. I guess just deciding that the two basically last pick white cards aren't going to make the deck, so hedge his bets and take a playable green card. So I believe this is the pack that Garrett opened here. On the way back, we've lost the other sip of Hemlock, but we've got two black creatures here that we can choose from. Or we can take the Divine Verdict. Garrett's got a lot of removal here. I don't know what he took because he just slammed it down, but passing on the Divine Verdict. There's a Traveler's Amulet, looks to be the pick. So Wild Celebrants at the end there. It's a Freeka's Minder. Obviously not making the deck, so I can take some bonus mana fixing here. I can take a 1-drop. He does take the Shivering Grotto equivalent. Takes the Black Mill Minotaur. I forget what the guy's called. And then finally some unplayable artifact. So Garrett looking through his deck, but doing so at an angle which is unusable for us. He's got a good core of black creatures and removal, and then in Theros pack really highlighted some great white cards, couple of Phalanx leaders, a Wingsteed Rider to go along with his white archetype from the Board of the Gods pack, and a Lifelink Eidolon. So in a pretty good spot here going into the last pack. Pretty sure Aaron on his right was also in white, so his white should be trimmed a little bit here. So Lightning Strike right off the top there. Cavalry Pegasus. There's a Voyage's End. Probably too late at this point to take one of the best blue cards. There's a Glare of Heresy. And there we go. Fabled Hero is amazing. Could not pick that quick enough, so Garrett's deck coming together incredibly well here. There's a Lash of the Whip, there's a Grey Merchant, there's another Eidolon. At some point Garrett's going to want to try to pick up a few more Eidolons to really, or some of the white combat tricks to really take advantage of his heroic mechanics. The Grey Merchant is what he's going to take. Seems good. There's a fair amount of black devotion, and we're definitely in black at this point. So it might be the Harpy here. I don't know what that white card is, because so we're just going to take the vanilla 3/3. No, we're going to take the Harpy. So just pick up a flyer. Here's a Gainsay. Another vanilla Cavalry Pegasus. Ugh. So there's a Freakish Cure that somehow came all the way back. It's another white heroic guy. Oh, this will be the last time Garrett drafts on camera. There's another Mill Minotaur. A Dark Betrayal at the end. I took the white-black, I forget what that guy's called, but this late in the draft, when he's solidly white-black, that guy's plenty good enough. Oh, it's Ordeal of Erebos. That's the second one he's picked up. Which obviously fair on its own, but in combination with all the heroic guys he has, carries a lot more value in this deck than it would in a vacuum. Disciple of Finax. Another Cavern Lampid, another Bestow creature. So it's coming together here. So Garrett's got a legitimate deck. Whether or not he ends up, I forgot to change this to pack 3, but whether or not he ends up taking this draft down remains to be seen. But he definitely should be on a fair playing field with the other decks, as he's got a lot of synergy, a fair amount of removal, and a pretty decent clock. That's all you could ask for. And that should be it. So we're going to go out and move the camera. We'll watch Garrett build his deck, and then we will be back